直樹です。
こんにちは、石橋茜です。He is 直樹長谷川 and I'm 茜石橋。
ベンチプレス、ノーギア、フルギア、優勝6回です。
私はノーギア、フルギア、全日本で計8回優勝しています。He has won the Japanese competition both in the equipped and non-equipped for 6 times, and I have won also in classic and non-equipped and equipped bench press in Japan for 8 times.
毎週日曜、ベンチプレス最強セミナー11時からやるんで、ぜひ皆様ご覧ください。
So every Sunday since 11 o'clock, we are going to do this, the top level bench press seminar for you. You shouldn't miss it.
では今回初めてのベンチプレスセミナーっていうことで、このなんで最強かっていう意味をちょっと説明していきたいと思います。自分自身ノーギア、フルギア優勝していて、そのノーギアのいいところ、フルギアのいいところ、それぞれやることによってノーギアの技術でフルギアも高めることができますし、フルギアの技術でノーギアを高めることができる。これによって生まれる相乗効果、それをこのセミナーで伝えていけたらと思っています。
Okay, so this is our first time seminar. So this tema of this time is why we call this seminar the top level bench press seminar, because Naoki Hasagawa, he has both won in non-equipped and equipped in both. So that's why we know the both technique in the non-equipped and equipped. So for example, if you know the technique in non-equipped, you can use that technique to improve your equipped one. Even the upside is also the same. You can use your equipped technique for your non-equipped technique. Then you can also improve and higher you can lift the weight. That's why we are calling this top level bench press seminar, because you know the both sides of the technique. So it definitely will improve your bench press in the whole levels.
では今回はベンチプレスの基礎基本を伝えていきます。なんでこれが最初かと言いますと、今 YouTube だったり SNS、そういったところにベンチプレスのいろんな情報っていうのが転がっています。けどそれを見てわからなかったことって多くないですか？それの理解を深めるためにこの基礎基本っていうのをベンチプレッサーだったり、トレーナー、トレーニー、そういった方に理解を深めてもらうために今回配信していきます。
Okay, so this time we are going to talking about the very basic of bench press. So why we want to talk about the basic of bench press in our first time is because I know that you have got so many information today on YouTube, on Twitter, or so many social network application and platform. But when you saw that information, do you really understand it? Do you really know how to do it and to improve your bench press technique? Maybe you got so many questions how to do it, right? So that's why we're going to tell you about the basic, because the basic information is difficult to find it on YouTube and you don't know what is right. So today we're going to tell you not the athlete but also trainee and the trainers to know the basic of bench press, and to help you understand more about the information you can find on the internet, and also it's going to help you to develop your new techniques.
では最初の基礎基本になります。まずベンチプレス、何が大切かって言いますと、シャフトと肘の位置です。まずいきなりベンチプレス台に寝るんではなくて、こういった木のバーを持って鏡を見ながらフォームチェックをするとかなり良くなります。で握っていただいて、この時に確認しないといけないこと、まずこのシャフトがこの肘を隠している、肘が出ないようにしっかり乗っているかっていうのを鏡の前で確認してください。これがですね、 こう持った時から肘がこう見えている、内側入っている、あとこう外側出ていると、これも最初からしっかりシャフトが肘に乗っかっていないので、いいベンチプレスができません。で、この時にしっかりベンチプレスの動作をしてもらって、この下ろしている時もうしっかり肘がバーベルのところに来るように、ちゃんと鏡を見ながら動かしてみてください。これ上げる時もですね、しっかり隠れるようにやってみてください。これが内側入ったりとか、脇を開いて外側出ないように、そこをまずチェックしてみてください。
Okay, so this is our first time. So we're going to tell you the basic one. So which is the important thing in bench press do you think? Definitely, this is the shaft and your elbows, the position, the relationship between them. So first, we're going to let you please try to find a bar or something and to grip it with like Naoki has done before, and then try to check your elbow. Do they really hide just under the shaft? So if your shaft is, you can see your elbow, like you hold this one, if you can see your elbow inverted or flare your shoulder, definitely your weight is not going to flow down to your back, but you're going to hold with your arms and your chest. So it's not going to be a very good bench press form. So when you try to do bench press, please don't just go to the bench and lie it down and start your bench press. Please check your bench press form with your elbow and the shaft relationship. Try to definitely to check, does your elbow has been hidden just behind the shaft, and to make sure you cannot see your elbow down the shaft or up to the shaft. Try to make sure your elbow is definitely has been hidden even when you start your bench press. In the bottom, and when you push it, is a hole. If your motion, your elbow is behind the shaft.
.では次に側面ですね。側面も先ほど話したのとほとんど変わらないです。この時に先ほどの、肩甲骨入れてなかった。これ肩甲骨を入れると胸郭が立ちます。でこの時もしっかり肘が内側とか外側出ないように、シートに対して前腕が直角になるようにを確認しながらやってみてください。でこれ、壁使ってる人の注意点として、この時お尻が壁から離れてしまうとまたケツ上げベンチみたいになってしまうので、壁ある人はしっかりお尻と背中つけてやるようにしてください。壁ない人もね、あんまり腰重心にならないように、この肩甲骨胸郭を立てるのを重心としてやってみてください。実際にやってみます。しっかりね。で、しっかりシートと垂直になるように下ろして、肩甲骨を加勢して、加勢しながら下ろして、それを開かないように上げていく。こんな感じでやってみてください。
Okay, so after you have checked the elbow, does it behind your shaft? The next one we're going to show you is your forearm. Okay, so the arm. So what is the important thing of your forearm? That's the angle between your forearm and the bench. Okay, so first one you want to make sure is your forearm is always vertical with the bench. So which means like 90 degrees. Okay. Alright, so if your forearm is not vertical with the bench, you are going to lose your power capacity. All right? Okay. So one thing we want you to know is first you want to check your forearm angle with the bench. First, I'm going to show you. Okay? So if you have something bar like this one, and try to imagine there is a bench behind your back, or if you have a wall between you, you can use it. Or if you don't have it, maybe you have a definitely sure you have it. If you don't have it, you can just straighten your body and hold this kind of like a wood bar and try to do the shadowing bench. Okay, first hold it and also make sure your elbow is hidden just under the wood bar, and then start your bench form. Definitely try to feel your elbow angle with the bench. It should be 90 degrees. As I already said before, if your angle is like this, or your angle is like this, definitely you cannot lift more because you are losing your maximum power capacity, and you cannot use your whole axis of your body to press the shaft. All right?
では次に肩甲骨の入れた時のこのシャフトの使い方っていうのを説明していきます。肩甲骨を入れると何が変わるかって言いますと、まずこの胸郭が上がってきます。それちょっと実際やってみますね。普段通り持っていただいて、この時に肩甲骨を入れます。そうするとこの胸郭が立ちます。で、その状態でしっかりシャフトがその肘のところに乗っているかっていうのを確認しながらやってみてください。だからやることはさっきと一緒ですね。この肩甲骨を下正して時にも同じ動作ができるか。肘がこの時にブレず下に入ったりとか注いだりしないように、しっかりこの時もね、肩甲骨は寄せた状態で下ろした時も上げた時もこんな感じでできるようにしてみてください。
Okay guys, so I think you have know some technique from YouTube and some Twitter or some Instagram, some social network application. And also I think so this one, putting down your shoulder blades, like putting down your scapular. I think this technique you have know from YouTube or something. Okay, so when you do this putting down shoulder blade, what point you should to be careful? The answer you have already know because we have already talked. Yes, definitely the same thing. First, you're gonna try to make sure your elbow are hidden behind the shaft. Okay, the first, and also your forearm should be vertical to the bench. Okay, so first let's see a little bit of difference between you putting down your shoulder blades or not. Okay, so first let's see when you don't putting down your shoulder blade. It looks like this. Okay, and then when you putting down your shoulder blades, it looks like this. Okay, so we have seen the difference, right? But when you do this technique, definitely make sure your elbows is all hidden behind the shaft. Okay, let's then go to the next point. It's about the forearm. All right. So first, let's see you don't do the putting down your shoulder blades. It's like this. Okay. Then let's see when you putting down your shoulder blade. Alright, so also the point is the same. Your forearm should be straightened, should be vertical 90 degrees to your bench. So if you have wall behind you, of you standing in front of a wall, make sure when you do this checking, make sure your shoulder and your butt are touching the wall, okay? And make sure you are not moving your lower back, but try to make sure you are pulling down your shoulder blades, okay? That's the very important thing you're going to check. All right. So we have definitely see these two checking points, which we have already talked. So what I want to say here is when you do the technique of putting down the shoulder blades, you definitely also have to make sure these two checking points, which is try to make sure your elbows are hidden behind the shaft. Also, your forearm is vertical to the bench sheet.
.では実際にベンチプレス台を使って先ほどのことをやっていきたいと思います。まずトレーニーのベンチプレスフォームで、その後がしっかり肩甲骨を入れた競技用のフォーム、どちらをぜひご覧ください。ではトレーニーの普通のベンチプレス、はい、では次にしっかり肩甲骨を入れた状態のベンチプレス、
Alright, so I think we have already checked your form with this wood bar, and then let's go move to the bench and to see the 2 points we have introduced previously. Alright, so first, when you lie down on the bench, okay, so when you lie down on the bench, have to make sure your elbow is hidden right behind the shaft. Okay, so if your elbow is like this, or your elbow is like this, you can see it's difficult to bench because you are losing your maximum power capacity. So try to make sure your elbow is right behind the shaft. Okay, then let's see when you're using the technique putting down your shoulder blades. Okay. Yeah, it's the same. Make sure your elbows are hidden right behind your shaft.
では次に側面を見せていきたいと思います。まず一般トレーニーのベンチプレスから。次に肩甲骨を入れた競技用のベンチプレス。 ではご覧いただいてお分かりいただけたと思うんですけど、このシャフトの下にちゃんと肘が隠れてましたよね。で、側面見ていただいたとき、前腕がシートに対して90度になっていたことがお分かりいただけたと思います。
Okay, so I think we have already checked your elbow is behind the shaft. Then let's check your forearm, the angle of your forearm and the bench. Alright, so let's see. Okay, so try to make sure your forearm is vertical to the bench seat. If your forearm is like this, also like this, yeah, definitely you're not go to your maximum power point, alright? So try to make sure your forearm is 90 degrees to the bench seat. Okay, then let's see when you're using the technique, putting down your shoulder blade. Okay, so it is also the same. You're going to check is the elbow is in the right angle with the bench seat.
実はこの練習で受け位置、下ろし位置、フィニッシュが確認することができます。では実際にやってみます。別に肩甲骨を入れることによってしっかり胸郭が立ちます。で、シャフトを外します。入れた位置にしっかり構えることでこの受け位置が決まります。で、そのまま肩甲骨のある高い位置にシャフトを下ろして、ここでボトムが決まります。で、フィニッシュ。構えた位置に戻す。
Okay, so with these two demonstrations, I think you have already seen that my elbow is hidden just behind the shaft, and also my forearm is vertical to the bench sheet, which is 90 degrees, right? Okay, so I'm pretty sure you got this 2 points.
では今回のポイントをおさらいしていきたいと思います。まず1つ目、シャフトが必ず肘のところにあること。もう1つ、シートに対して肘が必ず直角であること。これが倒れたり入ったりしないことをしっかり押さえておいてください。これができると、YouTube や SNS にあるベンチプレスのいろんな情報っていうのをしっかり理解して身につけることができるようになります。
Alright, so I think we have talking about these 2 points. Let's just go and review it again. So first point, do you remember? Yes, make sure your elbows is hidden just right up behind your shaft, the first point. And the second point is make sure your forearms are vertical to the bench sheet, which means 90 degrees to the bench sheet. Alright? So with these 2 points, with that previous demonstration, you're going to know your best position of your starting, your bottom, and the finish. Alright? And then, and also, when you understand and you can get this 2 point, you're going to better understand the information about the bench press technique on YouTube or other social network applications. Okay, so with these two, so make sure you understand and you can make this 2 point. You're going to well know about bench press much better. All right?
では次回、本日の基礎基本とともに、どうすれば新しい技術を身につけることができるか。その中で肩甲骨のポジショニングがとても大事なポイントとなります。つまり、ベンチプレスで最も重要な肩甲骨。一体どの位置にあればいいのか。肩甲骨のポジショニングで重量が変わるので、それを確認してください。
Okay, so I think we have talked about this 2 point. The elbow, your forearm, and also your shoulder blade, the scapular. Right? So I think you have already know that the important thing about the bench press, the most important position, the part of your body is, yes, this shoulder blades, the scapulars. Okay? So in our next time, in our next seminar, we're going to talk more about the scapulars, the shoulder blades. Okay, so first, what is the best position of your shoulder blades to lift more? Okay, and then how you can get your shoulder blade to your best position. All right, so yeah, we're going to see you again next time. All right, bye.